And
We're gonna get into
gave me
users
that.
and stuff like that.
That's not what
Users,
I'm-
not rates.
It was good.
Are you guys- I'm not- wasn't agree.
Wish them would stay there and come back and talk about it.
It was there, yeah.
Are you guys here
Working on
Wednesday?
it.
No, Nikki wanted us to come in and start with this first, and then she wants us to come back and talk about the project. And users and how much it
So we did that
costs.
on
So we kind of want to set the table first.
Yeah, kind of we're just giving it all.
We'll get most of you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is a regular scheduled meeting of Grace County Commissioner meeting on March 10th, 2025. Everybody please rise to the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a roll call here. Edlin,
Here.
Averill. Here. Olson,
Here.
Zorn by Zoom.
No, not yet.
Not yet, hasn't got quite yet. And Travis here. So anyway. Wait a second. You wanna
I think you're good. I took you.
Okay, you didn't, okay.
I'll let you know when it's on.
get on? I need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Edlin to approve the agenda. Go.
I'll second it.
Second by Ellison. Okay, all in favor of the approved agenda?
Aye.
Aye, same sign. Motion carried. Next thing, look at the approval of February 24th meeting minutes, please. Take a second, read through that quick.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes and dispense with the reading.
Okay, motion by Edlin to approve the meeting minutes. Second by Gabriel. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carried. Okay. Bills. You guys take a peek through the bills, please. Question for you, Sam. Who's this Carrie Cross?
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was Carrie Kraus and it is Lori Good. Those were the people that helped Kelly in her office when she was out for those 2 weeks, and
Oh.
then, Chrissy's been
Yeah,
out.
correct.
So
Okay,
I was gonna talk to you guys about that. I did take that out of miscellaneous pay.
okay.
If that's okay with you, if you wanted it taking out of general courthouse or,
Yeah.
It's fine.
I should be okay with that.
wonderful. Did you get the link? Okay.
SP assistant. $1,000.
That's that. Go ahead.
SB. Just big expenses. $1,000 to start.
Is that the software?
Show us. I have Rod on speaker.
Hey,
right
Rod.
now until
Good
I
morning.
get-
Hear us, Rod?
I can hear you.
Good deal.
I'll try and send that again in just a minute after we get through the bills.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just stay on with the phone right here for now.
Sounds
Okay.
good. $20,000 was.
Or something? What did it say on that one?
That is.
At the end there, to the very end.
Page 5 it's on.
I'm looking at page 8,
No, it's on page 5.
page 5,
Page 5.
because there's a $20,000. Bill for on page 8.
Oh, that's the county special assessment.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
All right.
that's our taxes.
Okay.
Griggs County's property,
Oh, we pay tax on our own property?
the special assessments.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
For the city?
Yep.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, guys, on the bills?
I make a motion to approve bills.
Okay, motion by Edlin to approve the bills,
I'll second it.
second by Olson. This will be a voice vote, there's money involved, so Edlin,
Aye.
Gabriel,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Zorn.
Aye.
And trying to vote session. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Monthly office reports. We kind of just look through them, don't we? Look briefly?
So you just have the one from the clerk of court's office.
Yeah.
We haven't got that far with CPT yet for you guys to get mine.
The rest of them.
Yep, and then, but they should be coming here soon to give us some training in person, which would be very nice. So we can kind of show them our reports and then and ask them which reports they can use for me. So those will be coming, but yeah, you just have the two from the clerk of court's office, clerk of reporters.
Okay.
That would be a payment to them. Yeah, yeah.
Anything else in the monthly office reports, guys? Yeah.
Good.
You're good, everybody good in that one?
Yep.
Okay, so get to the heart of the matters. We got a couple guests here today, but actually a full house, actually. Anyway, so question is, who wants to go first? Upper Cheyenne or does the Garrison Bridge want to go first? Flip a coin? Up you guys. Who wants to go first?
I think I'll go first
Okay,
because
sorry.
I was gonna. Yes, I think it's best if I go first and
Go
then
ahead.
let them guys do
Yeah,
that.
this is Troy Bergsham's here from Upper Cheyenne Management.
Yeah.
Correct?
Pull a chair on the end if you want.
Again, I'm councilman or commissioners. You want me someplace else?
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
I'm good, okay. Again, I'm Tor Bergstrom from Steele County Water Board, and I'm also the vice chair of the Upper Cheyenne Joint Water Board Districts. I'm here literally to ask you guys if you'd start partnering with us again. Now, a few years ago, I had a speech all wrote out, but that's not how I work here. You guys all know how this happened. You guys didn't think you were getting a good enough bang for your buck. You guys are the largest county, because your whole county's in the Upper Cheyenne. You're our largest county in our district. When Griggs County used to be on the board, we were more of an advisory board. Legislatively, we worked with the counties to get stuff passed, because we have a what do you call it?
Representative.
Representative, would you lobbyist? Okay, we have a lobbyist that's out in Bismarck working for us. Since Griggs County's and the Upper Cheyenne parted ways, we've become more of a working board and an advisory board. And with the grant monies we've been getting now, we now have lawyer. We have Sean Fredericks as our lawyer. We have Bar Engineering as our engineering group now. And we've been doing a lot of bank restoration on the Cheyenne now. We also monitor the Cheyenne constantly. And
For water samples, or that's usually an RCS? but-
both water samples and bank sloughing, what's
Okay.
happening with the river with all this flow. We're also an informational board, and to get in with Garrison Diversion, that's where we have our monthly meetings now.
Oh,
And we have it there because we work. Garrison Diversion is a great partner with us to work with. And we're also now an arm, a partner in a lot of county things that don't actually go with the river. Like right now, we can develop and be a partner with if legal drains, right? You guys need some legal drains, and if them legal drains end up in the river, we, instead of, we can do a lot of work, partner with you, get some engineering done and have a project. Help your water board can bring stuff back. And in a nutshell, we've changed our scope of what we are. We're no longer an advisory, pure board, what we were doing. So I guess I'm here to ask now, monetarily, since you are the largest, I think it's $6,000 to $8,000 a year.
that
That
was between 5 and 6, somewhere in that way.
yeah, between $5,000 and $6,000. Yes, that's what it is for. And the contracts that we do, the mills that come out, I believe they're every 3 years.
Okay. So we paid.
You pay yearly,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. We pay you. I know
you
that.
pay yearly, but every 3 years is what the mills are. So technically, it's $24,000 over 3 years that you guys would be assessing. Okay, so just so you know what the monetary amount is.
Yeah.
And for that, now you will see a return, because I'll tell you right now, we do have 3 spots in Griggs County that need work.
I can guess which one it is.
But since Griggs County is not our partner, the county, for us to do work via the wordage or the verbiage in the contracts with our grant money through the state, if you're not a partner, we can't come into your county and do the work.
Correct.
So that's the biggest thing. That's how your name's coming up right now, because we do have some projects in here. That does not count Hewlin Dam that we've been looking at for 20 years, the Upper Cheyenne. Before we did that, it was the Upper Cheyenne that really notified you guys on what was going on there. But at that time, we weren't an operative board. Now we are. Now we have the engineering with us, we have the legal with us. We can get the ball rolling on that, and if we need to get something done with the Hewlin Dam, we can be a partner in that. And we can find funding sources for Griggs County to use to help with restoration or to work with that. So that's my pitch. I'll let you guys decide after the meeting.
What other project, you know, you have 3 projects, anything else on that? Anything else? There's more, it's mostly, is it grant money? Is that what it is? Or how does that work?
What we have right now?
Yeah.
Yes. Right now we have grant money, and our grant money. I still think we've got like $250,000 sitting there that we just signed an extension on, because that money was supposed to be used up by this year. But then we are reapplying for the grant to see how that will work. But there's other funding sources besides that. We would do work with Game and Fish. We do work with Heritage Fund. It's just, we are another funding arm or an opportunity and liaison to help you guys.
What, up in Nelson County, what do you do up there? For
What do you
Nelson, you're in Nelson County, correct?
Yes.
Cheyenne. What are some of the projects up there you guys have done?
Every one of Nelson's counties have been there. We've had 2 complete up there for bank restoration, and we're starting a 3rd right now. When I say bank restoration, we come in where the outlets for Devil's Lake, they're I think that's why the state kind of has a soft spot for the Upper Cheyenne Joint Water Board District, why we do have opportunities for lots of grants through them, and we seem to get approved for them. That's why we got our pilot project money. You know, what was it? Like 3 years ago, we got $2 million to use. That was a little different. So we didn't have to go through the State Water Commission to access them funds. We didn't have to go through the paperwork. We were a pilot project that got approved from the state of North Dakota. We beat out Fargo Diversion, and we beat out what's the Mouse River up through Minot. And they gave it to us. Well, I'll tell you, when I read between the lines why we got that money was because of all what's been happening with Devil's Lake. And the bank restorations that we do, we bring in logs, bury logs alongside especially where the oxbows are happening. And then mostly it's logs, redo them, get the turf, get the vegetation growing back again. And then we monitor that situation constantly. It's also water quality. As you know, Griggs County at one time helped us with used to be the health department, whatever that number was, you know, and that did the water quality study. And that led to the state took that water quality study, and that was one of the factors that led to Valley City getting a water treatment plant and knowing what exactly the water quality study should be. So and we still continue that.
How do you get by the Corps with filling in your Cheyenne River?
That's all engineering and lawyer work. And we've never had a problem. We meet with the Corps once a year, once every March in Valley City. And
Well, I know
they
wouldn't let us do any work up at Rorbigs when it was washing around there. That's why I was wondering. You know,
I don't know what the magic our engineers do with them.
just
We've never had a problem with the Corps. A lot of times it's just the paperwork to get filled out and send in the paperwork, and then it sits on their desk for 6 months, and then you sit and gotta constantly call them. And it seems like we get some stuff done.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Griggs County did do 2 bank restorations because of the drainage from Devil's Lake.
Yeah.
And we did one on that along the County Road 2 up there. And then the township, I think it was Lenore Township did one bank reddish there on them, where we put riprap.
Right, and it's not cheap.
No.
It's not cheap.
And there was a cost share.
The cost share thing, yeah. And the nice thing about them, we've identified that, and who that identified that, it was honestly the US Fish and Wildlife. US Fish and Wildlife a year ago canoed this whole thing, gave us a report on not only fish blockages, but where banks slough off and stuff. And then Bar Engineering came in and did the same thing. And especially right now, which is nice, we are starting a project that we're thinking is going to be done by July, because we're going to be because the river's so low this year, we'll be able to be getting in on that.
Tasha texted me. And
So she gave you the numbers?
She said it's every 4 years.
Yep,
It's 19,742.87 for dues over the 4 years.
correct.
So it's 4,935.72 per year for the dues.
Oh, I was way off.
I was about 5.
So it's something I hope you guys consider. We'd really like partnering with you again. When we did have you on the board, your input on the board carried a lot of weight back then. And it will even be more now, especially with the, I'll let them speak to it, but you know, now that the Red River water supply is now coming into Griggs County.
How many people on the board?
Our board, one representative from each county, and I think we have 12 right now.
Okay, so then if we decide to join, we get a member, be a person on the board, correct?
Yes, and usually, or it is one of your water board
Members.
members. And how we do it, like I'm vice chair this year, we rotate every year, we do rotate the chairmanship. Just so you guys know how that works. So when we do have the monthly meetings, well, we actually don't have monthly meetings. We meet 8 times a year because we do take off summer month, every other month in the summer. It's just hard to get guys there. But then a member of your water board, we would hope would come to your meetings and keep you up to date what is all going on in the Upper Cheyenne. Another nice thing about the Upper Cheyenne is we usually take a half hour at the end of every meeting, and every county has a report. So and it usually doesn't have to do with the Cheyenne. But it's nice to know. It's nice to know what Nelson County and it's nice to know what Sheridan County are doing, just to give us more information what we're doing. Because we find out we all have the same problems, and then you find out some unique problems that they're having and how they solve them. Makes being a water board member much more efficient. Okay, with that, I'll sit down and for a few minutes and see how this goes. I don't want to listen to how.
Monitor the situation.
Any questions for Tori?
What days you meet on? Are like Friday, Saturday, Sundays, Tuesdays?
We meet the 3rd Wednesday of the month, almost every 8 months a year. We have one meeting. We do meet the 3rd Wednesday, and we do meet one Friday in Devil's Lake. They throw every year up there, they have a tour of the outlets or something around Devil's Lake.
I've been on that a couple times, actually.
Yeah, and we meet.
The water board has it, but the state water commission has it.
Yes.
Usually in June, whatever it is.
It's in June.
Yeah, I've been on a couple. Actually pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, we meet the night before up there. That's a night meeting, and then stay overnight, and then we get up in the morning. Those that go, and done it so many times. I haven't done it for the last couple of years, and then we have, like I said, in March, our next meeting is going to be in Valley City. We meet with the Lower Cheyenne board at that time and the Corps of Engineers. And then the Corps of Engineers gives us their winter update, what's going on with the dam, any ideas or any programs that they have through the whole Cheyenne River system.
Where's the cutoff for upper and lower?
Bald Hill Dam.
Okay.
Barnes County is the only county that is on both boards. Voting member on both boards. Anything else?
Well, I just, my personal note is the Cheyenne River Valley runs right by my doorstep, as you know.
Yep.
Literally by my doorstep. So over the years, I've seen it go from back in '88 when it was a drought, when you could walk across anywhere you wanted to. And now, of course, with the Devil's Lake outlet running in the summertime, it's changed the whole course of the river ecosystem, I think. I mean, it's not the old Cheyenne I used to remember years ago.
Nope.
Now it's basically just a water source that drained Devil's Lake. I call it a big kind of a half culvert, because there's no river. The riverbank isn't much there anymore. I mean, it is, but it's not it's lost all its characteristics of a river before, And you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Rivers do change. We understand that, but the way this river is changing with the constant flow, I understand. We've said it before with them, and we have see, that's another thing about Upper Cheyenne. We do have Devil's Lake representation. And we get to discuss with them. And we have water, and another thing, we have the Water Commission. Every month comes to our meeting. So we get to pound them guys. I've told them many times, water running in the winter is a lot different than water running in the summer.
That's right. Of course, the way the pumps are designed, you have to only run them in the summertime.
Yeah, well, you don't understand that either.
I know.
But
my point is, it's definitely has changed the system, the river.
Yes, it has.
So and not for the good, in my opinion. Some of the things.
You're not the only one.
So.
Anything else? Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Tori, on that one. Okay. Who's that? Who's the
Well,
spokesperson?
I'm gonna be the spokesperson, I guess, to start out, but Chairman Tranby, Commissioners, most of you probably know me. I'm Nikki Booth. I serve as the Griggs County rep for the Garrison Diversion Board. Thank you for having us today. We came to just tell you that Garrison Diversion is made up of many facets, and it was amazing to me when I put on the board that all we do and what we can, all the resources we have. So I'm happy to be here, give a little bit of overview of what we do, and let you guys ask us any questions. So yeah, thanks. I'm gonna turn it over to Kip or Dwayne. Okay.
We have some handouts for you.
Well, good morning. We want to thank the commission for having us. We have some handouts, basically tell you what we do and what we do for Griggs County. Just to piggyback on the Upper Cheyenne, we do give grant money to the Upper Cheyenne, and now the Upper Cheyenne has become very important to Garrison Diversion too, because once the project we're going to talk about later here is completed, water is going to go down the Cheyenne to the Bald Hill Dam, 6 miles south of town here. So the first sheet is one that tells you what our focus areas are. Of course, the Red River Valley Water Supply Project, we'll talk about that later. Agricultural and natural resources, we do still operate the McCluskey Canal, 74-mile canal. It's plugged at mile markers 58 and 59 because of the settlement that was done with Canada and the United States. And so we have about 75,000 acres, a little more than that we can irrigate out of the canal. We're at about 8 to 10 right now. So there's still quite a bit more development. Kind of what slows that down is we haven't got 3-phase power down on the south end of the canal. But once the pumping station goes in for the Red River Valley project, that'll probably change, and we'll probably have a lot more 3-phase power available to canal, so the canal will get used quite a bit more. The next thing is the municipal, rural, and industrial water supply. North Dakota was injured when the project was stopped, and so the federal government instituted the MR&I program to help to alleviate some of the injury that North Dakota sustained. So they gave us $200 million that was indexed. So we've spent well over $300 million to support water projects in the state of North Dakota. Recreation, 20% of our income, part of the original purpose of the Garrison Diversion plan was recreation enhancement. So 20% of our income does go to recreation. And we have given some of those grants in Griggs County, and I think that's coming up next. And then operations and maintenance, we've got the new Rockford Canal, which truly is a canal to nowhere. It's never had any water put in it. So when you drive over it and there's water in it, that's just natural drainage into the canal. The Bureau has approached us recently about taking ownership to that. So we're kind of investigating what we could possibly do with that if we do take ownership of it. And so you can see the district up above there is a picture of it. We touch all 4 corners of the state and 28-member county. And your elected representative to our board, we have 28-member board is Nikki. So you know all about that. So are there any questions on any of that? The next handout is the Garrison Diversion overview. You can see the map there again. So if you look on the second page, we have that matching recreation grant program. And so Griggs County has gotten $216,966 in grants. And then there's a listing of the projects that Garrison cost shared with for those projects and how much the grant amount was. Then we've already talked about the MR&I water supply. The city of Hannaford got a $20,000 grant for their water system. And then the Red River Valley Water Supply Project, of course, city of Cooperstown has signed up for that. And I guess at a later date, we're coming back to talk to Griggs County about that because we've had several counties now that are wanting to sign up for that too. And so we want to see to it that Griggs gets the opportunity to sign up to it for it also if they're so inclined to. We don't pressure you to do that, but we just will give you the cost information. You can decide on your own what you want to do. So what's taken up a lot of our time now is last handout is Red River Valley Water Supply Project. It's built for a 30 style drought and it's built to the year 2075. We took population projections and then we also went around the state and Griggs city of Cooperstown was part of that and they nominated for it. And so we came up with the size of the pipe after the nominations for 165 cubic feet per second. And so that was how the pipe was sized. There's 125 miles of it. We're kind of going through what's called the 200 corridor, Highway 200 corridor. And the total cost of the project is about $1.26 billion. We are able to use the canal now. If you look at the back of that page, before we had to go to the river, and then finally the federal government would work with us. This used to be a federal project in the beginning, and then we could never get a record of decision from the Interior Department. So when Hoven was governor, he decided to make it a state project. We have two major cities in North Dakota, Fargo and Grand Forks, that are, for their population, are overbuilt now for a 30 style drought. And so this project is to alleviate that, and in the central part of North Dakota. And so you can see by the map on the top there, we have 3 contracts underway right now. We have another contract that's been bid. We are in front of the legislature right now. The bill went out of the House with, I believe it was about $260 million for the project the next biennium. It's in the Senate now. We'll see what they do. But I'm sure we will continue construction in some form or another. And then, of course, the big feature of the project is in your county, right south of the Bible camp, south of town here is where the outlet structure is.
2 miles from my, 2 miles from my place.
And that's so we built that. One of the things we built first, along with the intake on the Cheyenne, and then some pipe around Carrington, because once we showed federal government we were serious about the project and that they were not the only option, when they came to the table and dealt with us, and then they're going to let us use the canal. We did spend $20 million on that intake on the river, but it saves us $300 million in construction costs, so we're still $280 million to the good. Plus, Washburn has signed up and they are going to use that intake on the Missouri. We got a couple other cities that are talking to us, and then Rainbow Energy, if carbon sequestration actually comes to be, they're going to have to double their water supply, and so they're looking at that intake too, so we don't think it's going to be a stranded asset. And so that's a pretty quick description. I don't know if you have any questions.
How many miles you got done so far?
Got 18 miles in the ground right now.
125.
125.
Okay. How many miles a year can you get done usually?
We're shooting for 13 miles a year, and then we're on a 10-year build with the state. And so if we can get about 13 miles a year, and that'll get us the pipe in. At some point though, we'll have to start building on the water treatment plant and the valve and pump structures. So to finish up in 10-year time frame.
And somebody told me that the pipe is 72-inch pipe, correct?
6-foot pipe.
Yeah. And it's
spiral steel weld
There's only a
concrete.
certain company could make it, is that correct? That's what.
Well, there's 2 companies making it right now. I
It's kind of
think
a hold up. I heard it's how many pipe can you get a year from these guys? That's part of the problem.
they told us we could do it in like a 5-year build, but then we'd have to pay quite a bit extra for the pipe because we'd be pushing all the manufacturers so hard. So that's kind of why it's getting spread out over 10 years, is we don't put any pressure on the manufacturers. Right now, Karstenson's pipe, one of the contractors is coming out of West Virginia, and the Oscar Renda's pipe is coming out of close to Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So
how's the easements going?
So far, it's been going really good. We haven't had to go to court for eminent domain for anybody yet. And so we're real happy about that. We've been able to work with the farmers, and we haven't gotten any no's yet.
Okay.
So
93%.
93% is where we're at.
How much does Fargo contribute to the building?
They're see, Fargo and Grand Forks are like 82% of the whole project, and so they're paying, so the state pays 75% of the pipe. And now the 25% that the users have to pay, Fargo and Grand Forks are paying 82% of that 25%.
Well, even out of the state money, of course, a lot of that Fargo gets their share out of that too.
Yeah, if they're
I
82%
mean,
of
rather
the project.
than spreading that out
Yeah.
to somebody else.
Yeah, they're getting, of the 75%, they're from the state, they're getting 82% of that too, so.
Yeah.
What has Griggs County paid in for our 1 mil since 1955?
Do you have that? We can get that to you. Mary didn't come today, she'd be our financial person, but we can get that to you.
We don't get any irrigation really out of this, so at all the way out of the
No.
Garrison diversion.
There wouldn't
I
be
mean, it just
irrigation.
goes to everything else.
What's that?
It just goes to everything else.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's,
that was, yeah, it was, even in the original project, I don't think Cooperstown would have gotten any irrigation.
no, a lot of it was meant for downriver.
Yeah, there was gonna be like 20,000 acres around the Oaks area. And then there was gonna be up in the northwest, Pierce County was gonna get a bunch up in there. And then once, of course, the project got stopped and they plugged the canal, then we didn't get any water going north.
I've had one question though, but instead of building that pipe, why wouldn't they just dump it into the Cheyenne River and let
Well,
it flow down
I'll let
naturally?
my engineer talk about that, but there is quite a bit of losses in the upper part of the Cheyenne. And then the federal government plugged the canal, so we are not allowed to put raw water into the Cheyenne at the headwaters of the Cheyenne, because then that would violate, according to Canada, the Boundary Waters Treaty Act. And so when the federal government settled with Canada, they plugged the canal, so we can't get water to the headwaters of the Cheyenne. And but we can, where we are putting it, we are treating it, we put a treatment plant in. So if we were gonna open up the canal to, 2,000 cubic feet per second canal, the cost to treat that canal, all that water would be cost
Yeah,
prohibitive.
but you're gonna treat it anyhow, aren't
Yeah,
you?
but only 165, 165 cubic feet per second is quite a bit different than 2,000 cubic feet per second for treatment costs.
Isn't it the same water?
Yeah, same water. Talk to Canada. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, I,
Yeah, you're right.
Go back in
it
time.
makes a lot of difference of them in the amount of pipe you're putting in.
Correct me or not, but 1950, when they built the Baldwin Dam, that was, Lake Espita was for water supply for Fargo and Grand Forks, correct?
Yeah, there's more than there's Lisbon's in
I know,
there,
I
and
just- that's my
Valley
point.
City's in there, and yeah. But they did contribute money to the Bald Hill Dam. That's
Okay, yeah.
one of the only dams that the Corps has. It's not a flood control dam, it's actually a water supply dam.
Is it tomorrow? The townships or what? When is that? Tomorrow?
Yeah, so we're gonna attend, is it the Township Association meeting?
Correct.
Yeah, so we're gonna go talk to them tomorrow, a little bit more about construction.
Okay.
And if it's okay with you, can we pivot to construction?
Yeah, that's
for you
fine.
guys?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
Thank you.
right now, construction's in Foster County. But starting probably in May or June, if we're successful at the legislature, we're gonna bid projects in Griggs County. And so potentially there's 30 miles we're gonna bid come mid, May or June. And we would probably open bids then and award in August. So that means we could have construction late this year, but more than likely, construction would start next spring. That would be ultimately up to each contractor. Some contractors elect to, when it freezes to haul aggregate or pipe when the roads are frozen or the fields are frozen, but we'll work with those and we'll work with you guys on that. The reason why we're here today is because we would like your take or your rules and regulations So we're gonna have 30 miles of construction. Scott, I think we have a handout there of the roads. So one of our first issues is, and you don't have to answer these questions today, just getting it out there. Want to pass that, Tom, please? Seems like each county has different rules. These are all the road crossings we're gonna have in your county. And we'd be here today asking for, what can we do to have open cuts on your paved roads? That'd be one of the first questions. And I think we did look and we did grab some permit. I think we went to your website or we came here and got the permit process. Oh, yeah, and you talked to Wayne. So that's one of the first things. And then tomorrow when we're meeting with the townships, how many townships do we have, Scott? Eight townships we're gonna meet with. We're gonna, show them the routes and ask them the same thing about what kind of permit process do they have for their township roads. And I believe we put on here who we think has kind of legal control of each of these roads. So if the word counties behind it, I think those are the ones you guys are in control of. And I guess I'm unfamiliar in Griggs County. Do the townships control their township roads?
Yes.
Or do you guys do mutual things
No,
together?
township.
And so we'll work with those people on that part of it. Some things that you should know. We also have a draft road maintenance agreement. You can change this, you can edit it, you can work with you on this. This is what we used in Foster County. And this just spells out how we're gonna work in your county. Things in here that are spelled out are, the very first year we tried using water trucks for dust control. That did not work. So we're gonna go all to chloride for dust control. We video and survey all the roads before construction. And then we do the work and then we do a survey after construction so that we can tell you guys that we're putting the road back, we didn't ruin it. Blading, we like to give the option of blading, whether sometimes the county is gonna want to keep control of that. And so we'll pay you to blade it, those roads that we're using. Or if you don't have time and you don't have staff, you can take Garrison Diversion, have the contractor blade. And we'll do that. I think we're paying, we'll work with you on the numbers, but I think in Foster County, we're at about $400 a mile. Per ton. Yeah, so think about that, whether you'd want to do those things or not. When it comes to the end of the year, we want to make sure that we get gravel out on the road before winter. So we do end of season graveling. And then also when the project's over, say there's a segment of 5 miles that all the project's done. We call that kind of end of project maintenance. And there you can either have us re-gravel the road, or we'll pay you $10,000 per mile, and you can pocket it. You can buy your own gravel, have your own gravel applied, but those are two different ways to end the year. Looking at my notes, see if I have missed anything here. Scott, Vance, am I missing anything so far?
No, not yet.
Okay, and again, we can come back and talk to you, or we can just come on a separate meeting and we can talk about specifics in Griggs County, what you're gonna wanna see.
Yeah. How much? So let's say a typical mile or two, how much traffic will be on like a township road? How much? That's a big question. I'll be blunt. How much are you gonna wreck the road? That's
Yeah, that's interesting how you put that, how you gonna wreck the road.
I'm just being blunt.
Yeah, so I can give you an example, like over by Sykeston, they decided to do all their hauling in the wintertime, and they hardly have touched the road. You can't even tell.
But it's winter time.
Right, so they got 85% of their hauls done in the wintertime.
Okay.
And so that solved a lot of it. Now you move over to southeast of town, that contractor did not decide to do that, and they beat up the roads, and we had to put a lot of a lot of gravel down, a lot of maintenance, but that's all on us.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any data yet that suggests we've blown out the roads. We haven't widened anything. It's just more about hardening the road. And we've had to add a lot of rock.
Well, I'm a township officer too, and I'm in Slurry Township. And that's some of the questions that are gonna be thrown at you tomorrow.
For sure, yep. And we want you guys' involvement, the township, county's involvement in all of the haul roads. That we're gonna be using. We want your guys' approval on those haul roads.
What are you gonna be using the haul roads for?
So mainly it's gonna be pipe. Pipe has to be brought in, so there's one piece of pipe typically on a semi. If the pipe is 50 feet long, because some are 50s and some are 25s. So a 50-footer comes in on one semi. So pipe and then aggregates the other one. So that pipe has to be surrounded by
Aggregate.
aggregate. And then if that pipe takes up the space inside the trench, something has to come out, right?
Yeah.
And so that clay that's at the bottom half of that trench has to be hauled off, and we give that first right of refusal of that material to the landowner. And what we're finding in Foster County is most of the landowners are taking most of it. We've worked with some townships. They've had a couple places where they didn't have any roads, and so we built a road up for a couple miles. A lot of farmers are taking it to build up their sites for shops and all sorts of things, widening, putting a shoulder on roads. What else am I missing? Yeah, everything you can think of.
Yeah.
So lots, I don't have the number. Maybe I can get that for you tomorrow. Do you guys have the number? But typically per mile, trucks are, I'll get that.
Well,
I should have that on my, I haven't given one of these for a while now.
yeah, I mean, as far as pipe goes, it's about 100 trucks, 110 trucks a mile. It's a pipe.
Right, so if a mile is 5,280,
Yeah.
move the decimal over, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of wear and tear on the roads.
There is, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of wear and tear, but that's on us to make sure we maintain it and we put it back. 100%. We want to make sure if there's something specific in Griggs County you want to see in a document or want us to do, we want to capture that, so we.
And
so
that's
we
part
do
of
it.
this contract and all that stuff, correct?
Yeah, and, you know, this. We're gonna follow this unless you tell us differently. And we've tried to improve this over the last 3 years. We've learned some lessons the hard way, and I think we're getting smarter.
So you talked about open cuts on our paved roads.
Yeah.
You won't bore at all if the county wants to do that?
Well, here's the thing. Per paved road, we can save $1 million by not boring. So I've asked Foster County, we're doing the same thing in Foster County. We're even doing the DOT, Highway 120. We did not do 281 because 281 has a railroad track there. So we bored the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right.
The DOT has not given us approvals, but they have not said no. And now we're just kind of fine tuning. If we do it, what's the traffic control look like? What are all the details going to be? They haven't said no or yes, but I think it looks favorable because they understand the cost savings.
So you're looking at two separate, contracts for each individual township, correct? And also a contract with the county. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, we would sure like agreement with the county on how we're going to operate in your county. And then an agreement with the townships, right? If they're going to have different takes, we'd like different agreements with each of them. Yep.
You put it in on your paved roads and you put a bypass around, does that build a bypass? Is that what you do?
Yeah, you'd have to because, the pipe is going to take a few days to put in. Let's just say the pipe takes 3 days. But to come back in and repave that section, that's going to take probably what?
Well, we
Another
understand.
10 days or something. So
Well, we understand that, but if you gotta have a bypass when you're.
yeah,
when you
so
cut
we do a bypass probably for 21 days. Now on the township roads, when we've open cut those, we'll get through those roads in about 72 hours, 48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours.
And those, the townships of Foster County have elected to not do a bypass on the township ground.
Usually you can just go up a mile and go around anyway.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yep. Or if there's something critical, like it's harvest you're harvesting. They've said you're not open and cutting during harvest season because we need, all grain. So we've done that. Try to open cut in June and July and then don't hit August, don't hit late August at least.
Yeah.
You'll have lots of people in the area. I'm guessing contractors will be looking for houses to rent, hotels, cafes, gas station. There's a ripple effect.
Maybe I'm building our cafe in town.
It will be used. We're definitely finding that out in Carrington.
So you're saying probably in the summer, you'll start going to Griggs County, what you're the bottom line. Slow.
So we're gonna open bids
Open bids.
and possibly, late this fall, you could see some activity.
But for sure next summer.
For sure next spring, right now, next year. Yep, things will be moving.
You guys, questions, guys?
Yeah, if there's somebody you want me to contact or work with, do you just want to contact me? Do you want me to come back the next meeting and do a
Yeah,
follow-up?
we're gonna have to look, we're gonna have to chew on this.
Yeah.
You guys, when you come in, dig them up and all that, when you film back, and you pack them really good. So after a year or two, we don't get it settled, so people aren't driving over humps or bumps or whatever else.
Yeah, exactly. We're on,
Because that's the biggest
We're on the
thing
hook for
too,
that.
is, you dig up a road, even if you pack it, sometimes you go on shifts, and you get a sag in the road, and you get more bumps, and then that gets
the speed
ignored.
bumps
Yeah.
that you named with whoever did the speed bump. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, we're on the hook for that.
Okay.
What we've seen, and we've talked to the DOT because they've done a lot of this. They said, make sure what material you take out goes back in. Because that material will swell and shrink at the same rate as the whole entire road. So if you bring a new supply of dirt or gravel, there's your speed bump. That's one of the reasons why. So I don't want the Kip Kovar speed bump in Griggs County. So
Well, not just that, people don't like that either.
yeah.
Are you on the hook for more than 1 year on your crossings or?
Yeah, and I think if it doesn't swell in the first 2-3 years,
Yeah.
you've kind of probably done things the right way. But
It
we're here.
depends on that winter too that we have.
Yeah, yep.
Is that in the contract?
We can put it in there.
That'd be a good idea.
I don't know what we have in there for, I don't know what we have.
Oh, so deep is the pipeline.
So it's at least 7 foot to the top of the pipe.
Yeah.
But there's areas where we're much deeper. Do you guys have a process right now to give Garrison Diversion a permit for a road crossing that covers right away or easement issues or anything like that? Or do we kind of have to create the wheel?
It's on that permit that we.
Yeah,
It is on there, okay.
Road crossings are on there.
And that's, Foster County just have a process laid out, so it's.
Suppose you guys want to be nice and deep below that frost line, just in case, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
I do have one little question. I got your outlet is right across from the Cooperstown Bible Camp.
Mhm.
I was just down there last Sunday, actually. And how much is that gonna be for them, from them coming out, the flow coming out of there? It's right across the way for them. It's gonna affect them or what you guys?
Have you seen, you said you went to the Devil's Lake outlet. Have you ever seen that in
No.
operation when that was spilling over? Is that what you're
Yes.
asking?
Well, I'm talking about the outlet by Cooperstown Bible Camp, right across the way,
Mhm.
How much, I've looked at the one down there and is it gonna spread out enough that's not gonna be an issue for them?
Oh.
At the Bible camp?
Yeah, it should, if you're standing at the Bible camp.
Yep.
You will not, my guess, you will not be able to tell it's on.
Okay,
I mean, it's only gonna, did you see that big concrete apron?
yes, I've been down there.
At max capacity, there would probably be 10 inches of water
Oh, that's all.
coming over that. So by the time it trickles through that,
Through, you spread it out, you hit.
hits the river, comes by that Bible camp, it won't.
Okay.
Maybe if it's a 1930 style drought and you're in the 5th year and ours is the only water in there, you might be able to tell, but.
I also have, there's a schoolhouse right next to it that's privately owned now, and it's like literally 50 yards from it.
Yeah.
He asked me the other day about how much water, how much noise it can be, and I said, I don't know. I can tell him. Yeah, okay. All right, no, that's fine.
If something ever, let's say the thing shifts breaks, or flood the land, you guys are on the hook for all that.
If it does what?
Like, let's say the
Pipeline burst.
pipe
Oh.
breaks.
Pipe breaks. Yeah.
So let's say it wrecks the farmer's field or whatever else, floods an area or whatever, you guys are on the hook 100%
We
on
are,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like any.
Cause that's a big deal too, you know, you go by next somebody's farm, let's say that breaks, floods that area, wrecks their house, they're not too happy either.
Exactly, yeah. Any crop damage, anything that we flood out, even during construction, we're on the hook.
Okay.
Dang right. Good question. I didn't even talk about easements or crop damage and all
And
those
that
good
doesn't
things.
expire.
And that, yeah, crop damages, do not expire. That's right. So if we come through and put our pipe in and the landowner that's farming that can prove that there's a loss, that they're not making what the rest of the field makes, we'll pay the difference.
Any other questions, guys, for him? Any other, you got your last one? Anybody else?
I am the last one, I think, yeah. Do we have
Well, and
anything else?
I'll piggyback that. I mean, we'd
Yeah, go
like to
ahead.
come back and,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. in
There's
the
there's
next
a lot to
month or
chew
so.
on here.
Yeah, it is.
so.
And so we thought we'd, instead of a
And
garden
tomorrow-
hose
and
at
tomorrow-
you, we'll, you know.
And tomorrow with the township officers can be, that's
Yeah.
another one. Because those guys are gonna have to chew on that too a little bit, you know.
Sure.
Just being blunt, you know.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, we thought we wouldn't cover the Garrison diversion stuff.
No.
We're gonna kind of jump into the project.
I
We're
agree.
here, we're under construction type of thing.
Yep. So, there's free lunch before you.
We're gonna bring lunch, yeah. Yep.
There is.
Will we have
I see
people show
Lori-
up?
I see Lori roll her eyes over there.
Will people
Free
show
lunch
up
there.
tomorrow or not?
What's
Will they show up?
Yeah, usually it's pretty
It's always
good. We usually
come
get a pretty good crowd for that township officer meeting. usually.
Okay.
I'll be there, so. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah,
Appreciate your
Thanks
time.
for your time.
You bet, you bet. So anyway, well, guys, we'll just
Thank
keep.
you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, let's table this, you know,
Discuss it.
by Jamie.
Jamie, you can.
Jamie.
There's a-
Yeah, I'll have to look
Okay.
at what other counties have and.
I know when, when
Wait,
I
Wayne.
gave them our utility permit fees and stuff, in that, we said that they had to bore underneath paved roads in Griggs County. But if they do it the way they explained, and if they're liable for anything afterwards, then it wouldn't be quite as bad.
Okay.
'Cause
No, as long as everything's kind of
Just like
stuff like
Josh
that, you know, it's all in the contract, because I don't want something to break, settle, whatever else, and we get on the hook for it, because it could be an expensive fix.
Well, we gotta make sure that they're on the hook for more than 1 year.
You're right, Lon. Yeah.
Because you look at some of these jobs, even the highway department does, the contractor finishes and he walks away and
Well, I know how the highway department decided that they need the same material in there because they've made a huge mistake on Highway 1 north of Lakota.
well,
They didn't put the right
south of
stuff in and the
Binford
whole
where
thing
it
shifted
jumps
or what?
about 2 inches right in the middle of the highway.
Yeah, they put different material in there. They put pretty much all aggregate in there and it expands at a different rate than the rest of the road does.
Griggs County Road #2 too. We did that.
I just mean, but if we get a
Washed out
5-year
a big area.
guarantee,
And that's
We
what,
put
that,
gravel back in, now we had a
pump,
pump
and that's
like
what I
that.
want to prevent, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, let's move along here. We got a little bit of time over here. Okay, we'll table it right now and keep chewing on it. Let's be obviously quiet.
So the first guy that spoke, was that like part of this then, or was he?
No,
just
Upper
saying-
Cheyenne.
That's Upper Cheyenne. That's a little different.
I just wasn't sure since they were the same.
Well, they kind of piggyback each other, if you notice, in what they do, you know, so, yeah. The Upper Cheyenne as a whole, yeah, it's,
what would the county be on the hook for now? Out of all this? Just Cheyenne fee dues or?
oh, the Upper Cheyenne would be the dues per year. It'd be about $5,000 per year.
And then somebody to be on the board.
Somebody be on.
Nothing on the water supply project?
No, not that, I don't think so, right? I don't think there's anything on this.
And maybe since if we're part of them, they probably monitored all that and making sure that's all going smoothly too.
I don't know, John, that'd be nice.
I mean, I realize the project is already going through, but they could have done it a lot cheaper. That's,
Anyway, okay, let's go to Sheriff Michaelis, office gun report. Or the,
Oh, we have got a letter put together to put at the gun shop here to take bids for the guns.
okay,
So we'll be publishing that.
now be going in the paper then?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it then? Anything else you got to report? Did you hear? Okay. That was easy. Okay. Okay. Kelly, you're here. Just perfect timing. Kelly's got to report on the Palm, the court facility grants, correct? Go ahead.
So, well, we just talked briefly last time that it was accepted. It's a $40,000 grant. So I think my question today is, one, if we're going to accept that and move forward with it, we need to, I guess, decide on that. Because we do have progress, there is a time limit that we have to report, and that can be extended to, it's just a matter of, are we going to take this grant money to complete that project that we want to do for the cameras and security for the building?
Yes.
So that's something.
So you're looking for a motion for us today to approve it.
Well, you know, I don't know where you guys are at with that list that you have. And I
So
don't.
this would be out of the
ARPA funds, yep.
The grants for 40,000, correct?
Yep,
From your.
the grant is for 40, yep, which reflects the 25%.
How much do we have left in there, Sam?
ARPA and the COVID funds they're one and the same, but they're
Yeah.
different. So we've done all of the ones that have restrictions, like a little bit of restrictions, and then you have the other ARPA funds.
Yeah.
And there's $100,000 in the other one.
That's
And
what-
we've already designated for cameras and security
Yeah.
with that, correct? And
That
that
it was-
40,000 was just help that expense. Yep.
But.
So
well,
in the discussion, it was discussed that we would use those other ARPA funds, but we were going to apply for the grant, and then, so now you've received that, so now you can.
I make a motion to accept the grant.
Motion from Edlin to accept a grant for the $40,000 from the court facility grant.
That's accepting, that's not going through with everything, correct?
Well, it would be to go
It
through with
would-
it because you have to accept it and then you need the project to start.
Yep.
I'll
So
second that.
if we accept that, we have to follow through with the project.
Correct.
Correct.
I second
So
that.
if you choose not to do the project, we can still put this towards part of the project for the court area. Like the cameras, I think the total cost for the cameras for the court area is 8,000, but I don't know if there's other pieces that are included in that. So what I'm saying is we do have $40,000 that you could put towards a project regarding this for the court area, if you choose not to, but I don't know what that total amount is. I just want to throw that out there.
Lauren seconded.
It'd be nice to sit down with Travis again and get the.
Yeah, can we have, next time, can we have him upload that Excel spreadsheet so we can see it on here too? Cause that would be handy, but we had, the money is already designated towards it through the ARPA when we did it, so.
Well, yeah, but if we got 100,000 plus the 40,000, that's 140, if that could cover everything.
I
Do you
believe
still
we,
have that? I don't know if that
I believe we put enough out there to cover the whole project and the 40,000 was the bonus,
Correct.
you know,
I just want to make sure.
we covered it
Here, go ahead, Jim.
without the,
Just one thing. Because were we talking just cameras or or is this gonna cover the cameras?
This is the
and-
whole thing.
Everything,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
the car weight and everything.
Yeah.
That's not that I'm against it, I just want to make sure that all of it's there before we do it. I'm pretty sure we were okay, but let's just make sure.
right.
Door access, we had 143,933. And then security cameras 38,606. I thought that it went together.
I think it was all together and then he was asked to break it apart, right? So you just add.
So that was like 178,000 or something like that. I could be wrong. for everything, and we were gonna go grant pending.
Well, we can approve her grant to do her portion of it. You know, and because we have that money that's put away, how much do we put away for that to go towards it? Can you upload it? I know I read it with you. Yeah, I think we had it broke out. First, we had it all together and then we broke it out from cameras to the fobs, the security system.
Yeah.
In your application for your area was for both.
Yeah, for the
So,
total for both of them.
for
And
both
I
of
think it was
them.
like 65,000 I applied for, and I didn't get awarded the entire amount because there were so many people that applied.
Yep.
So I'm really happy with the
40,000.
40,000 that we got.
Right.
I mean, it was a massive amount that applied over. It's been actually funny.
Oh, look at you. I love this.
Door access and security cameras come to a total of 164,979. That was a whole blur to me. There was a lot in there, so
Which one did you use? The first one or the second one?
I don't know. I'm looking at the ARPA fund project. It's on your tablet as well.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's on yours. Or you just be like reading over my shoulder.
well,
Okay, so the door access.
Is it under the Google deal?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I might
Huh?
have. I'll talk to Travis about that.
Can you put it on the big screen and share it?
No,
Yeah.
not right now. I don't have the hookup right now.
Oh,
That's set up for you.
you know what, here, you can look on that one. I'll pull Scott's
I'll call
up for him.
I can send him a Zoom link if he can just get on the Zoom.
in, yeah.
There it is.
oh. Okay.
Rod, were you able to open it up on your iPad?
No, I haven't been able to get on this Zoom.
If you go
OneDrive?
into the shared drives, there is, under that shared drive, there's a ARPA file now, so you can go in and look at that spreadsheet if you'd like.
You got it, you're close.
Right, if you're quick. You knew what you were doing.
Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Aye,
So when reading that Excel spreadsheet, the top line,
Yeah. 126.
yep. There you go. I close it for you.
Okay.
Some of these haven't been updated on what we spent or agreed to spend.
You did, oh, I see. Because we have done Dalton's.
We've done the
But I
best.
So the ARPA funds, you have $100,000, and then the COVID public. Well, the other ones, they're all ARPA, but the one is one and then
Right.
the other is the
Right.
other. And so you had $100,000 in the one and then 329,000 in the other.
We didn't have to allocate that first $100,000 to anything, so that one's just kind of sitting there.
And that can be used for literally anything.
Right.
So how much do we have with them combined?
We put away 126,000 for the cameras or for the door access fobs and IDs, and then 38,000 for the security cameras. So if you add those two together, that's how much we took of the ARPA funds to put towards those two projects. And then Kelly brought in $40,000, so you would subtract 40 off of that too.
Well, see, none of
Does that make sense?
Not, so all, like, everything that's on here just says available funds. It doesn't say what we've spent and already designated.
Well,
That's why.
we just wonder what we designated. We can only use what we designated towards it though. I mean, whether we spent it on the other stuff.
No, but what I'm saying is we got our total number of all the grants put together. We've spent some of the money out of the grants.
He's playing game.
I don't have a final number here. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what we're,
So, Travis had mentioned that the previous, bids or estimates have expired. And that we just have to get new numbers to see if there's any changes with, possible tariffs or price increases. So potentially, who knows what that could go up, but you know.
we allocated 164,979 towards that whole system. The cameras and the door fob security.
Okay.
And so we have 164 to spend. Kelly just brought us in 40,000 that we can take off of that. So. Oh, come on. So that's what, 40 subtract 160, that's, we got 120,000. So that just leaves us that leaves us $40,000 in the ARPA funds to either go over for price changes.
And then that's the thing. That's what I just want to make sure, because like I said, we got a total number here, but it doesn't give me a list of what we've spent and designated already. So I just want to see what our total number is to make sure that we have that number available. I don't want to say, yes, go do it, and then wind up biting us in the butt.
Yep, so here's the ones that we designated to.
Yep. Okay.
So, and we can't spend it on anything else, but to those areas.
But I just wanted to make sure with spending all this.
Right.
And offsetting those numbers, that number was still available.
Oh, yes, yeah, because we haven't overspent anything that was on.
I know.
Not this.
I know we
but-
saved money
Well,
by
I
making
don't- I
sure
guess
it's
I don't
strong.
know.
I get that. But
Depending
all
on
I'm
what
saying
else
is
you
we
designate.
all we got is
Nice.
our original final number. We don't,
We
nothing's
put
been
40, but
updated
we'd
on
still
what
have-
we spent.
we wouldn't
to
have to spend
subtract
that.
Yeah,
number.
I'll have her update that. Or
Yeah,
she
I
will.
don't know what
Okay,
you.
so the
I just
MOU,
don't want to say, I don't want to vote for it and want to bite in the butt.
the ARPA MOU that we filed at the end of the year, we have 190,000 for security.
Oh,
You guys designated 190,000 for security.
Oh.
Get 40,000.
Okay.
And that is out of the
And that's just one I want to
$329,000.
make sure, because all I seen was all those numbers and none of the updates were made about what we've designated and spent so far.
Okay, so if you want to look at
Used.
the MOU,
Yeah.
the road department, we designated.
Correct.
We designated
20,000 for the one-way.
80,000
What, yeah.
to the road department. We designated that 190,000 for security. You designated
Are you
98,000 for the sheriff. You did,
But do you understand where I'm coming at?
Yeah.
Yep.
What they're saying is basically, you want to make sure we have enough money to cover. it.
Yes.
That's the
Right,
factor.
and-
Correct, we do.
And we do.
And if we
So-
do, then.
Yep.
Because like I said, I just see all those numbers and I'm just looking at it, it's like, okay.
Have we
the update-
overspent them?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna update in that file, all the MOUs that you have.
The ARPA fund projects one, the third, that one you'll update? Or the,
Yeah.
okay,
In your ARPA file, all of your MOUs.
Then we spent, well, that's
okay,
it.
thank you.
So the question on the sheriff's vehicle, I know we designated 98. We spent a little extra being that was a 3/4 ton, was that still part of that 98,000?
I don't think it
But
can.
we also
We
got,
actually got it cheaper.
okay.
By 10,000.
But I know we got a $10,000 discount being that we carried a quick carryover. So I just want to make sure that if we're not over that original number or under that original number.
No, we were under the price of
Correct.
half ton by quite a bit.
Okay, okay. I mean, maybe I'm asking too many questions indeed too, but I just, like I said, I don't want
Yeah.
to say yes to everything and bite us in the butt.
Okay.
The only thing that we spent full value on so far up to date is the blade that we knew how much it was gonna cost when we ordered it.
Correct.
The pickup, we came in about $10,000 less on the gravel trailer. We allotted 60 and I think we paid
47.
47.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So far we've come in under on everything.
Okay,
You know, then the skid steer, even on that, this spring, that came in less because there was a government pricing or something like that we got.
But that wasn't ARPA, that was.
that was a
actually-
different grant.
different.
And then the road.
Yes, oh yes, yeah,
Yep.
you're right. I'm sorry.
You're
right.
good.
Anyway,
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate that.
so anyway, we have motion on the table
Yep.
to approve this. Discussion?
What
Go ahead, Ron.
a question I have as far as with the bids now out of date or whatever, do we need to have it redone, because, and I don't know where these parts or these pieces are coming from, but the tariff could be quite substantial. So do we need to have take the 40,000 and then revalue or not value, excuse me,
Have it rebid, so we know
have
our
it
final
rebid, have
number.
it rebid, so we know.
Yeah, can we do that, accept that? Accept that grant and then have our rebids and then apply that grant towards it?
Mhm.
And that's basically what you're saying, right, Rod?
Yep.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Yeah, this letter just states that the project has to be commenced within 120 days of
Okay.
this letter.
okay,
With good cause, if we need to, I've had to extend projects before and they're fine. They just like an update of
Okay.
things, so
okay.
So
they're flexible with that.
So,
How many people do this bid? Do we have a couple bids or what do we have?
It's through Electro Watchman, who does all of our security right now. They have our current system.
Okay,
I think that's what, I remember Travis pushing for them. I mean, we can get other bids if you really feel we need to. But that's why Travis pushed towards them, because we already have them, so it'd be easier to integrate their system with ours.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
So
right.
anyway, so do we have to amend our bid here or amend our motion?
No, the motion is to accept the bid.
It is, but.
Well, not to
It's
accept the
to
grant.
accept the grant.
Grant.
It is, okay, so we can, okay, so
To
let's,
accept the grant.
okay, so let's make, so any discussion? Any discussion?
One last thing,
Yeah.
I think, I agree with what Travis said, and I think that is right,
Correct.
but I think we should have another bid just to compare, not saying that we're gonna take the lesser, but I think just to keep things, because aren't we required once we spend so much money to have another
I think
bid?
it's 200,000.
The only requirement you need actual bids on is road work and fuel. That says that,
I thought there was a dollar amount that we had to follow
Yeah, I
by.
thought it was 200,000. If it's 200,000 or more, we have to.
Well,
according to what I've looked into as Century Code, it's fuel and road work. Other than that, we don't need to.
well, if
accept
this
bids.
is just to accept the grant, we can approve the grant. And then what we can do is we should, if you want, we could probably, if we have to make another motion about getting more bids and getting a final number and applying the grant towards that. If that, can we do that, that or no?
11.
Travis is on if you guys have questions.
Okay,
No, I won't.
yeah, I understand, Travis, what you were saying about using the system, the same guys, it'll make things go easier, but I was just wanting to make sure we protected ourselves, that we have to have, bids. I don't know why we wouldn't have to have bids when we're spending money. Keep things legit.
Oh, so for the door X control,
It's
you want me
always,
to?
it's always, anything, it's, I've ever bid on has always gotta be an open to the public bid.
Yeah. So we just wanted updated number about the current bid, and then maybe if you can get other bids just to compare to make it a little bit more fair, like he was saying, being that we're a government entity, if we are technically required to do it, let's do it.
Okay. If we don't need to, I don't know why we would want to even bother, so.
If we're not required, but
Especially on this.
yeah, we're not required. It's under 200,000. If it integrates with our current system, why you don't want to have to. But okay, but that can be a different discussion.
Okay. Anyway, so one last time, any more discussion, guys, before we vote on this? Okay. Edlin.
Aye.
Averill.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Zorn.
No.
Cranby votes aye. Okay, motion carried. So.
And that was to accept the grant.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
just
this is
accept
just a
the-
accept the grant. Can you give us, like we were saying, can you give us more updated cost if that cost is out expired for everything, just to make sure?
Yep, I'll get updated quotes for you guys for your next meeting for that, and I'll reach out to another company and see if they're willing to do a bid, if that's what you guys want to do then for that.
Yeah, just in case. I mean, if in case they ever come back as, hey, you didn't accept any other ones, what's going on here? We can at least say, well, we at least got two to compare, and here's our reason why we did it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We'll let that one, okay. Let's move on. We have a little time
Thank
crunch
you.
here, so thank you, Kelly.
Yep.
Treasurer, is he on it?
She is, she just asked me to present them. You do have some primary residence credit application for abatements.
Yep.
These people were on the list to receive the credit, but didn't get it. So then this is the refund for
Okay.
them. So it just needs to be approved by you guys, sign or
Signed
your
by me.
signature, and
We
then
need a motion in this sense, Stan?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So
What is it
moved.
for again?
on the $500 primary residence
residence.
credit
Oh.
that the state did. It's a state thing, it's not a county thing, and yep, so these people did,
We're missed or.
yep, do have it. They applied, they did
Okay.
all that, and so
They're approved.
these are good to go. You guys are good to approve them.
So who want,
I made a motion to approve the abatements.
okay, motion by Edlin. Do I have a second by Averill? We just need a voice witness, don't we? Yeah. Not the minute. All in favor? Oh, any more discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the primary resident credit application, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign, but no. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Next question is sick leave donations.
You have 3 sick leave donations here. Wayne would like to donate 350 hours to Christy. Gary would like to, or James Anderson would like to donate 200 to Gary Barber. And Jake Rowden would like to do $200 to Gary Barber as well. It does need your guys' approval, so.
She has enough coverage. She has enough sick to cover her until April 20th.
Christie does.
Yep. And
So this is Christy and Gary.
Gary both, yeah. Gary needs some more too.
okay.
There's both, there's a combination here.
Okay, so here's my thing is that in the employee manual, it states that you can have, when you leave here, you take 10 hours of sick with you.
10 days.
Or 10 days, I mean, 10 days of sick with you, which would be, for Wayne, it would be 80 hours, correct? I would like to not give more than that away than what they would take with them. Otherwise, we're just giving away funds that we would have they wouldn't have spent.
Oh.
So they want to give, so Wayne wants to give 350 to
Christie.
Okay.
And then James wants to give 200 to Gary and Jake wants to give 200.
I would go 80, 80, and 80.
What happens if you need more after that?
Well, I think somebody else should, they can start doing their vacation. That's because they don't take more than 80 hours with them when they leave here. But that's my only personal opinion. That's.
I mean, leave 80 hours in or what do you?
Okay, so like we're in my employment, if you leave Annetta Parkview, you do not take your sick with you. So if somebody wants to donate something to another employee, I have them donate their vacation, because otherwise they're just donating Annetta Parkview's time. You know, that's something that if they left, they wouldn't take with them. So they're not donating their own time, they're donating Annetta Parkview's time. So they use their sick, if they're willing to give that, when they leave, they'll just have less sick and that person will use it. And with these guys here, with their vacation, if they leave, they take 80 hours with them. I don't, unless they want to donate all of theirs. Is that all of your sick time you have, Wayne, or?
2,999 hours that
Wow,
I've
that's.
never used because I've been
What the-
fortunate.
okay.
Right,
Mine.
right.
So,
To me, my philosophy is if these guys want to, if it's not against the employee manual, if they want to donate all their sick leave, that's on them.
They're not
That's.
donating all their sick leave neither. They've
No,
got
but I mean, if they have
over
this
2,000
sick leave hours, if they have all this and they feel it's right to donate, to me, that's 100% on them. That shouldn't be on, you know.
We feel that these employees
They
are
do.
worth
Yeah.
trying to keep them. We wouldn't want them to run out. Then you lose your sick leave, I mean, your insurance, everything. They've been good loyal employees. Gary Barber's wife, cancer has come back
Yeah.
again. So he's gonna have to be missing more days. He still has some days, but.
So,
To me, I don't see anything being abused here. It's between the two employees.
Too
And
many hours, then
Yeah.
take them away. But still, when we retire, resign, quit, get fired, we're gonna still get those 8 days or 10 days.
But that's the thing, if one of them takes the hours from you and let's say they abuse it, well, that's between you two and the department. That's not anything else. If you guys, you guys are the ones who work with these employees, so that would be who you feel is necessary in it, if they deserve that.
Well, would you have to replace Gary with somebody else when he's gone?
I will eventually have to, but he's been going now, like he goes for a day, comes back.
Yeah.
And goes for another day. They went to Minnesota quite a while, first time, and now they're in 3 months.
I just mean,
So,
if you'd have to replace him with somebody else, then it would be on the county, and if you can make it work without replacing him, your department.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with it, but I,
it was good. I mean, during the winter, we had a good winter.
yeah, I didn't mean, I just meant,
Go fine, so.
but if you had to,
It's easier to give them some donate the 6 hours, sick hours versus trying to replace an employee. Or having no employee suffering hardship, taking all this time off. That's really, really hard on a family. Whether you got one kid or your wife or whoever else.
well,
It doesn't matter if it's 1 day, 12 days a week.
I
It
just-
doesn't matter. It's very,
if
very
you took
hard.
another 50 days off, you'd have to replace him.
Not if he's donating all his time though. If he doesn't need him.
If he took, could you get by basically for 2 months without him?
Well, you have to hire somebody else to work for him, is what he's asking. If you do
That's
that,
all
then you'll have to you'll be double paying. You'll be paying his sick, will be coming out of the,
That's all I'm saying.
and then,
If-
yep,
if-
and then another.
It wouldn't
income
bother
for
me
it.
at all if Wayne can get by. Or if you just take a day here and there so you can get by out of your department, but if we had to hire somebody for 2 months,
Yeah.
then I would. Somehow I'd like to see
Because that.
Wayne have to come to the board to hire somebody.
And Family Medical Leave Act is 12 weeks. And it doesn't have to be consecutive weeks. It can be 12 weeks in a 1 year time.
Yeah.
okay.
But
Rod, what do you think? Still there, Rod?
I see both sides. I do. With what Steph has brought out and that what Josh has brought I lean more toward with Josh, I'm thinking that if accumulated the days, they should be able to do what they want with them. But I do understand the fact that if we have them take a bunch of consecutive days off, we're going to put us in a bind. And then if we have to hire somebody to take that position, but I guess I'm fine with it as long as he's not gonna take two straight months off, you know, if he's gonna a day here and there, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
How about
Would you have to come to the board to hire somebody?
No.
No.
You can do that on your own?
Yep.
Department heads do themselves.
As long as it's within their budget, it's fine, as long as it's, you know, so, yeah.
I'm going to have to hire somebody because Ken Sandvik is gonna retire at the end of it.
Yeah, so, well, that's different.
Anyway.
Good.
Because it's budgeted.
So anyway, so.
Yeah, that's between you guys and that's in your budget.
Okay, so.
I mean, if you want to give less hours now, whatever. If she needs them. Come back or somebody come back and give her more, I don't know how long she's gonna be gone, that's why.
I say donate the hours, and if she doesn't use them, it's just more in your favor. That's my.
Go ahead, Ron.
I'll make a motion to let them donate us their hours.
Okay. Motion by Rod, donate hours as is.
I'll second.
Second by Avriel. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? We have to do a voice vote, do we? No, just I.
Just.
Yeah, okay. All in favor of approving the motion of that, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, guys. Okay. Old courthouse, new courthouse. I have nothing.
They have it, he's working on it,
Yeah,
so.
Okay. Okay, so I have something too, but I'll wait till next meeting. So anyway,
Thank you.
yeah, future business,
I do
Yeah.
have to ask you guys, how many of you commissioners are going to be attending the township meeting tomorrow?
I'll be there.
Anybody
Lauren-
else?
Lauren, you gonna show up?
I don't need to.
Okay.
If I'm at, where's the township meeting at?
It's gonna be here in the courtroom.
Courtroom.
What time?
What time is it?
One, I
1:30.
think it's 1 o'clock, Rod.
I think 1:30.
1:30?
I'll try and make it.
Okay,
I can't.
as of
promise
right now, I
anything.
don't know my schedule, but I will reach out to Sam and let her know if I could make it work.
Okay.
I can swing by.
I'll post the meeting just
Post
to
the
be
meeting
safe.
just in case,
You're
in case you guys more than want to show up, so, okay. Water board appointment. We haven't done that yet, have we?
Oh, shoot,
We can put it next time we do it, or we what?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you know, because Andy Hogan's up.
Yep,
Correct.
yep.
So put that next
Yep,
time,
yep.
okay.
He's not on the agenda anyway.
No,
so.
I know.
It was supposed to be on last
Yeah, last time.
meetings and then I missed it this one, so water board.
And then, anything else you want to add to it for next meeting?
Oh, I was just gonna say there's a contract to sign.
Yeah, I'll do that
for the
too,
bridge.
so. Okay. But there'll be more stuff to add as we go here, so.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll need to update the bank signatures too, so I'll get all that
Okay.
situated for you guys for next one.
Okay, we're gonna get here. Okay, so my favorite part of the meeting is,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
thank you, Rod. Do you have a second?
I'll second him.
Thank you, Avriel. All in favor to adjourn the meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Same time, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Next meeting is, when is next meeting?
March 24th.
March 24th.